Yeah, turn the speakers up. You're locked in with the best, rolling with Carlos. Let's go.
What's up, FinTalk family? What's up, Dolphin Nation? How you doing today? In today's video, we're going to cover day 8 of Dolphins Training Camp. We're going to listen to Coach Jeff Hafley, and then I'll read to you some stats from what happened in day 8 of Dolphins Training Camp. Then we're going to listen to some players who spoke to the media. So let's get started with Coach Jeff Hafley first. I'll give you my thoughts afterwards.
There's a lot of aspects I'm really happy with and I am very satisfied with, and there's others where we have a ways to go, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think the buy-in, the attitude, the effort, the strain, how hard they're trying to do all of the little things that we ask to do. Guys are showing up on time. They're where they're supposed to be. I think they're connecting. I think we're building the foundation as far as our culture goes and what it wants to be. But we've got work to do. We've got work to do as coaches. We've got work to do as players, scheme, details, consistency. You know, just like everyone else around the league, there's injuries where you're trying to find out your depth. And so I think there's some things, like there's some nights I go to bed and I'm like really proud of where we're at and how hard we're working. And then you wake up and you're like, okay, we got a long ways to go. So it's kind of a balance.
Can you give us an update on Dante Trader? We noticed he didn't practice yesterday.
Yeah, I would say he will not practice today. He'll be more day-to-day. I'm hopeful we'll get him back next week. There's nothing long-term with him.
Coach, I'm curious with the cornerbacks. I know you had Revis a couple times, Sherman, Hayden. With those guys, is there a common thread or anything you learned specifically from those great corners that you try to apply to this group or in the past?
Yeah, not only are they like the best to ever play at their position. I mean, you mentioned one guy who's in the Hall of Fame and another one who will be in the Hall of Fame. It's their mindset. Take away the talent. Like, those are some of the most talented guys to ever play the game. I just think it's their mindset. When you think back to Revis and Sherm and some of those other guys you mentioned, it's the way they approach every day. It's if a ball was ever caught on them, it wasn't okay. Like, it was not good. If they missed an assignment or the receiver, even I remember in scout team, if like the receiver didn't give them the precise look, they had a problem with that because they wanted to be perfect and they wanted to get better and they wanted to be challenged. And if it was a walkthrough and I was like, all right, guys, this is a period where let them catch the ball. It's a walkthrough. That wasn't okay with them. And regardless of what I said, they just had this mindset that they weren't going to lose. They were going to compete on such a different level than everybody else. And I just think that's really rare. And I think that's what separates the really talented players, because there's a lot of them, from you're talking about Hall of Fame guys. So I was very fortunate to be around a bunch of those and throw Rondé Barber into the mix, another Hall of Famer, and you learn so much from them, not only how they play on the field, but how they approach the game. And those real guys will send you videos and texts at 11 o'clock at night, and they're studying and they want to be better and they want to know about their opponent, and there's just it's just a different mindset that they have.
I got a social media question for you.
Yeah.
So,
are you a big social media guy?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I always ask the players about it. And so I found out yesterday there's a group of your players that have decided to stay off of social media right now. You were a college coach, you're an NFL coach. So 3 things. Is there a difference between college players and NFL players' use of social media? What do you tell your players in general about social media, and what have you told this group during training camp about social media?
Well, there's certain things I don't want posted, whether they're in the building or in the locker room, or things that we say or things our coaches say. I think that's really important. What's said here stays here. This is a place where I want people to feel comfortable that what they can say is going to stay in the building, and that's really important to me. Just like pictures in our locker room or pictures in our space, I think it's a very private space, and really that's all that I touch on. When I have one-on-one meetings with guys, I mean, going back to college, I mean, there's so many guys that would come in my office and I'd be like, what's going on, man? What's wrong? And it's, social media, guys are destroying them. Guys are beating them up. The whole world's telling them they can't play, and that's when you really have to pick guys up. And you try to tell guys to stay off of it and not listen, but let's be real. That's so much easier said than done, right? Like, someone that, regardless of whether it's somebody who, one, isn't their real name, two, has nothing to do or has no idea of what's really going on, but they're beating them up, and all of a sudden the list grows and it's out there and it becomes real and it sticks in their mind. I mean, these guys, they've got feelings, and sometimes, they get beat up a little bit. I think in college it was probably bigger, but I'm sure a lot of these young guys, it's still the same thing. And then it goes the other way, right? You play a great game, and then you turn on social media, and what does it say? You're the best player in the world, and he should get the ball more, and this and that, and you're going to be a Hall of Famer, and this guy's going to win the Heisman Trophy, and this team's going to win the Super Bowl. It's just, so there's such a balance where I think we as coaches need to help them understand. And there are a bunch of young guys that I've talked to, and I've had conversations. As soon as the season hits, I delete social media. Just because I think, regardless, it's outside stress, whether it's from the media, whether from someone who I've never met in my life, whether it's a family member critiquing me, it's just, none of it's worth it. So it's just a clear head, and I think a lot of our players have done that, and hopefully more will.
Few more injury questions. We saw Kevin Coleman and Ben Sims weren't out there. What's their status?
Ben will be day-to-day. And I would say Coleman will be day-to-day too. None of those guys are going to be long-term. They will not be out there today.
Coach, I remember back at the scouting combine, you talked about Chop Robinson working to become a 3-down player. And everyone we ask about him around here compliments his off-season body transformation. How would you say you've seen him grow outside of his pass rushing burst?
Confidence. He's starting to believe in himself, and I think his teammates are starting to believe in him. And I think that's huge for all of our players. He's been more aggressive. You can tell he's having fun with it, and he's playing faster, he's playing more physical, and he's playing more aggressive, and he's taking steps every day to become a complete player. And I think it's important to see he continues to do that and has consistency, and I think the Washington practice, and I think those will be key for him. But I think it's confidence, and I just respect the way he's gone about his business.
What have you seen so far in camp from Zane Anderson, and how has his 2 years of experience with you in Green Bay, if at all, kind of shown up in aiding the install on defense?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities in what we did in the 2 years in Green Bay and here. Now, there's a lot of new stuff too, but he's got a grasp on really how I kind of think and how I see things in the back end, and he's hearing me give him a lot of the same coaching points because I'm in that room a lot, and I was in that room a lot. So he's hearing a lot of the same things for year 3 now. I think there's a comfort level that he trusts me and I trust him. At the same time, there's really good competition in that room right now. And I will say, Zane's done a nice job. And again, he needs to be consistent. And the Washington week, it will be exciting to see him go up against another team and play in these preseason games. But he's become a dependable guy back there.
Speak to Chris Bell's progress, and is he nearing a potential activation?
Yeah, I'm sure you guys saw him running yesterday, right? Maybe you guys can race today if your knee feels better. I'm just joking.
Is there a player that has...
Hold on, I got... That'd be great. I wouldn't have to say anything else. That's good. I won't have to answer the question now, and we can... No, look, we're all good here. There's no fighting, all right? Chris is progressing nicely. You saw him run yesterday. I mean, he's accelerating, he's decelerating, he's able to cut. I think that's a credit to Chris, how hard he's worked. I think it's a credit to Kyle, our training staff. I think it's a credit to Todd, our strength staff. And, I would say this. We want to be certain that he is ready so he does not have setbacks early in his career. Is it going to be day-to-day? No. Do I think it's going to be long-term? No. Does that answer the question exactly how you want it? No.
Does it benefit
He looks good, though, doesn't he? You can say yes.
Does it benefit you to see him at training camp or exhibition season, or can that be a situation where you're waiting from a cautionary standpoint?
It would be a huge benefit, right? To get him comfortable and, if possible, to play him in a preseason game before he has to actually go out and play in real games. Yeah, that would be huge. Do I hope that happens? That would be amazing. Am I confident that will happen? I'm not sure yet. But that would be a very, very big benefit for him to start getting some work in a preseason game.
Coach, is there a player that has pleasantly surprised you so far in camp?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think there's probably a couple guys. I'd rather not single anyone out right now because I don't want to go down that road of someone getting angry with me. There's been a bunch of pleasant surprises. I'm just not going to go into detail on them.
What are you looking for out of a player like Willie Gay? Like, we see him consistently make plays. Not consistent, but we see him make plays in practice, but he doesn't necessarily always receive like that elevated role. So I'm curious, what would you like to see out of him?
The same I would like to see in everybody. Consistency in the details of the scheme. I think Willie's done a nice job. And I think just like everywhere else, as you guys watch right now, guys are moving up and down. Guys are going with the ones, twos, threes, twos, ones. There's a lot of competition. I think the key with Willie and with all of our players is being detailed consistently within the scheme, and the process has to be right. And I jokingly made this comment with Taft the other day, and I don't say this about Willie. I say this in general. The results in practice might look like, wow, like he just made a great play, he just made a great play, but it's got to be bigger than that. Like, defense is about, like, we need to be where we're supposed to be, we need to do what we're supposed to be, and then we got to make plays when they show up. So it's just the consistency in doing that over and over and over again, and you got a chance to play. Willie's done a nice job.
We have seen or heard when Willie takes the field, he lets out this sort of primal scream.
Yeah.
I want to ask him why. I'm sure there's a lot behind that scream. How does that sort of joy, I guess, in taking the field for practice align with your beliefs?
I want guys to be who they are. If you got to scream and to get yourself going, scream. I mean, as long as you're not disrespecting me or a teammate, you can do whatever the hell you want to get ready for practice. You got to ask him about that. The first time I heard it, I had no clue. I mean, what was going on? But however you need to get ready to play, get ready to play. Like, whatever it is, be you. Just be consistent with it. Don't do it one day and then don't do it again, because then it's not real. But if it's real and it's who you are and it's what you do every day, keep doing it.
Yeah, will you guys tackle today or tomorrow?
I'm thinking about it. If you watch, we're basically tackling right now. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Has anything stood out to you about Tutu's camp?
I think he's done a nice job. He's a guy that he's consistent. He runs the right routes. When the ball's thrown to him, he's been making the plays. And I think that's who he's been throughout his career. So excited to see him as we get into the Washington practices against a different team and in some of these preseason games.
Have you got an idea of how much of a legend he is locally? He brought Miami Northwestern High back. Actually, wait, did you ever cross pass BC and Louisville?
Oh, yeah. He was a problem. I know all about him. He was a problem in college. I mean, I think one game when we played him, he didn't play or he got hurt. And I was like, oof, I'm glad he's out. I mean, he was dynamic. You know, he could catch and run. They gave him the ball in a ton of reverses and just tried to feed him the ball over and over again. I know about his high school career and how well he did. I have a lot of respect for how he carries himself, the type of person that he is. He cares a lot about the community, a lot of family in the area, and I think he's happy to be back home. So, you know, I'm excited to see where he can take his game this preseason. Good. Feel better.
Job Robinson and his confidence and the way the team is believing in him. He spoke about what he took away from veteran cornerbacks that he's coached, and he said their routine, their work ethic, and he also spoke about the two current rookie wide receivers that are injured, Kevin Coleman and Chris Bell. He said Chris Bell is going to take a little bit longer, but Kevin Coleman is day-to-day. I forgot to tell you guys a trivia question. Which kicker holds the record for most kicks in one game for the Miami Dolphins? Let me know if you know the answer down in the comment section. If not, I'll tell you towards the end of the video. All right, guys, now we're going to listen to Terrell Dotson, then Willie Gay, then Zane Anderson, and then I'll read you some action from today's practice.
Like, you know, the leaders in the room, and we just try to lead with love, man. And sometimes it's tough love, which is competition. And like the Lord said, iron sharpens iron. So all the guys are sharpening each other, especially with Joe B and Al and Sean. And it's been great, man. It reminds me of my times in Buffalo when we had Tremaine Edmonds, A.J. Klein, Terrell Bernard, myself, Matt Milano. Like, it reminds me of that group because one room we had 6 starters. and the table is big enough for all of us to eat off of it. So you just got to maximize your role and just run with it.
What is the progress you've seen from those young guys, from Jacob and even Trey and Khalil?
Yeah, the progress is like they're coming out of their shell. Trey's goofy. Jacob's like the dad of the group, and K-Lou is like yeah, K-Lou.
What does that mean?
It's K-Lou. Great, like energetic. You see how he plays is his personality, man. He's just the sky's the limit for those group, and I call him the All Pro 3. They're going to do very good in this league, and I can't wait to see it.
I want to ask you the same question I asked Willie about
Yeah.
defender's perspective on Malik Willis. As a second-level defender, how does he create conflict for you?
Yeah, he creates conflict because you have to strong arm and can run. So you have to be disciplined, but also when he runs around, you have to find your man and plaster. But you also have to know that extra person in the coverage where that can go contain him and stuff like that. So he's doing a great job. He's leading. He's a great person, and I can't wait to keep building with him.
T-Dot, I got a social media question for you. A group of the young players told us yesterday that they've decided to stay off of social media for a while. I'm wondering how you handle social media. Do you go on it? Do you go back at people? What is your general philosophy?
Oh man, social media is like it's not even a thing. It's not even a thing to me. No, the fiance, she loves it, because these influencers and she's a model. She does well on it. So I just like to get on it just to stay updated. It's like the news nowadays. So just like staying on and getting updated with stuff. And I'm not really on it much. I usually post and get off. What they say, keep the brand up, but you know how that is.
Do you read what people say about you on the field?
No, man, that don't matter. They're not in this building, and certainly they're not God.
You mentioned Buffalo before, but with the linebackers and with the corners and with the wide receivers even, all this competition around here, how would you categorize this competition under Hafley maybe compared to what you've seen around here? Is it more than usual, or how would you just categorize this camp as far as competition?
Yeah, man, it's not more competitive or less competitive. It's just you versus you, if you look at it in that sense, and you gotta just look at the areas you can improve and take on with that and just keep getting better.
Everything Hafley says, it just feels very intentional. Like he's intentional with what he wants you guys to do, with how practice is structured, with the amount of times you guys have taken the ball away over the past couple of weeks on defense. Like, how much do they stress that in the meeting room, in drills? Like, get the ball if you're the defense.
Yeah. So I don't think y'all. He's one of our assistant linebacker coaches, Wendell. He starts every meeting with taking the ball away. So he's made an excellent emphasis on those takeaway points, and we've honed in on it. We've studied different techniques, punching the ball out.
All right, Terrell spoke about the peanut punch and how one of the assistants always starts the meetings with taking the ball away and techniques to take the ball away. He spoke about the unity of the team, reminds him of the team he was on when he was with Buffalo. And he says that they're just trying to help the rookies out, learn the system. And it's just about, they asked him about social media. He said he really doesn't use social media. And he doesn't listen to what people have to say in social media. So that's what Terrell had to say. Next, we're going to listen to Willie Gay.
It's a defense that's aggressive, a defense that'll make a lot of plays if you do what's called and work your techniques and do what's coached. And obviously, a lot of people watched Green Bay last year. They had a good defense, I feel, and only can get better if we continue to grow as players in the system, in the scheme, and just execute.
Sean Duggan said yesterday you had your last 3 practices were some of your best. What do you think you were showing in order for him to say that?
Man, I'm just going out there playing ball, man. Some days will be better than others. That's what I tell myself every day. But you can't never get too high, never too low. And I guess the last 3 days, the coach said, and I appreciate it, but every day, try to be better than the last.
What if coaches told you that you need to do in order to get more playing time?
Nobody told me anything, but I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. I trust in God's process, not anybody else's. I mean, y'all know how last year went for me. I mean, I'm just doing what I can, making the plays I can, man, and seeing where the pieces fall, you know. So.
Well, I got a big picture question about life in the NFL. You guys obviously drafted these young linebackers for a reason. And my question is about potentially training your replacements. But at some point, some vets took you under their wing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
They trained you knowing that you might be taking their job. So
Yeah.
tell me about your football mortality versus doing the right thing for the game and the
Yeah.
right thing for the team.
So when you talk about those young guys, man, obviously, like you say, I was once that young guy, drafted in the second round, coming in, and coaches wanted to see what I can do, you know. So now, year 7, you see the young guys come in, man, especially in the linebacker room. All you want to do is take them under your wing, and you want to teach them, you know, not necessarily. I mean, they know football, they play football, but anything you can, you know, tweak with them or help them out on the side or in life, you know, you just try to give them that advice and just keep rolling as a group. And as you watch them grow, you get better as well, and you know everybody wins.
When the coach said that, when he heard the scream for the first time, he hadn't heard what was
Oh
going on.
yeah.
That's what you do to get yourself.
Yeah. It gets me going, and like I said a while back, it gets the other people going too. So keep it consistent, my dog.
What about for the coach to be like,
Yeah, hey, if it gets him going, then we're gonna keep doing it for sure.
Really, I want to ask you about Malik Willis from a defender's perspective. When you put that curl flat along the coverage,
Yeah.
he can play so many balls to the outside out here. What is it like defending with Malik when he puts the ball to the outside? How does it kind of put you in conflict with what he can do with his arm?
Obviously a strong arm, and he can run the ball. So it's kind of like you wanna jump something, but you got to stay disciplined because he can fit it in tight hole shots and 7 cuts, and just get that ball on the sideline to perfection. So you just try to do your job, and seeing him make those throws is like unbelievable. Like it's definitely fun to watch. You know, as a teammate, you know, defensive player out there, it ain't that fun, but as a teammate, it's like, man, this boy can throw. So.
2 final questions.
You're a very instinctual player. How do you balance your instincts with doing everything that coaches tell you to do?
You just let the game take over. You know, you can't be a robot. You know, like do what coach tells you to do, but even a good coach will tell you we don't coach robots. You know, because if you too locked in, you don't make plays. You can always do the right job and not make plays. You know what I'm saying? So just not changing who I am as a player, as a person, and doing my job best of my ability, and letting that take over.
Final question.
I know it's early still in training camp, but what does a day like this mean when there's several big plays on defense and, you know, as you mentioned, you're teaching the young players different things still, but to have victories like that this early, you know.
It's amazing to see, you know, with the old guys and the younger guys, we all making plays, and it's definitely fun to watch because we want to take it over there to Hard Rock Stadium and to Vegas and Arizona our first 2 weeks, or San Francisco, our first 2 weeks. So, man, we're just trying to roll and keep.
All right, guys, you spoke about taking the younger guys.
You're invited to join Phoenix Energy's next webinar, where you
under his wing, and he said that that's what veterans need to do. He also spoke about the screen and what coach had to think about the screen. And coach basically just said that if he needs to scream and that's what gets him going, then that's fine. And then he spoke about just that the team needs to play like a team and play aggressive, and that coach's defensive scheme is very, very aggressive. Now we're gonna listen to St. Anderson, and then I'll give you my thoughts on that, and then I'll read to you what happened at training camp today.
Yeah, it's huge. I think having some years of experience, just building on it and then relearning it, I think it's always good to relearn it. This is supposed to be my 3rd or 4th time relearning it. We installed in the spring, installed in the fall, and so it's nice. I love it. I feel like I'm able to take steps ahead of just knowing the basics of the defense.
How your safeties approach you about what they need to know? What's the most important thing you can do to impart on them?
Yeah, I mean, as a safety, we have to communicate, and that takes with each other, but that also takes with the whole defense. And so with young guys, new guys coming in, like I love to talk ball with them. There's no secrets out there. We're on one page, and we play the best ball when we're on the same page. So I think it's being on one accord, and within that, it's them asking those questions, you know, the simple questions of what they need to do, how they see certain looks. And same thing for me, too. I'm able to pick other guys' brains as well.
How about Trader specifically? They'll come up here and talk to us about the dimensions of his splits and where he's at in the field. He's very cerebral that way.
Yeah, I love surrounding myself around guys that love football, and Dante Trader's that guy. He's always asking questions. I'm asking questions to him as well. He's very analytical about the game, but when it comes down to play, like he's not analytical. He just plays ball. But he's able to ask those questions to me, and I'm able to ask those questions to him. He's a great guy to lean on.
You get a chance to get a little bit of playing time in 24 defensively when Coach Hafley first got there with that Detroit league. How hard was it to kind of get that sampling and then have a different role this past year, and then how excited does that make you for the competition to have a larger position?
Yeah, it's kind of been my whole career, right? It's been about patience. You know, I'm all for the guys that were in front of me. Like, I wanted them to do well and wanted them to stay healthy. It's awesome for this opportunity around to compete for a starting job. That's all I've wanted and what I've been looking forward to.
On that vibe, is it important for you to start this year?
Yeah, absolutely. That's, as a competitor, that's what you want to do, right? And that's what I'm here for, and that's what we're doing.
And how do you measure yourself, in light of that? Is it a day-by-day, play-by-play, or is it every 3 practices you gauge how you're doing? You're a vet. How do you
Yeah,
discuss
I think it's day by day. You know, if you have a great day one day, it's a new day the next day. You got to do it all over again. And so for me, it's stacking those good days, building off the last. If you make a bad play one day, just correct it the next day and fix it. And if you have good plays, keep stacking it. And so for me, it's a day-to-day thing. We're not looking forward to anything. It's be a better football player this day, be a better safety, be a better teammate, and that's kind of how I'm rolling.
Seems like every day you and Caleb Douglas are competing for a 50-50 ball. What says that about his game so far?
Yeah, for him coming in, you can tell he's like his route running. It doesn't feel like a rookie. I noticed that in OTAs when I first covered him. I was like, okay, this guy's got something to him. There's a lot of guys like that on our team. I think Caleb's done that from the start, and I've been able to pick up on that, and I'm starting to gain some respect for him. He's a stud.
Zane, what difference did you notice in half from his time as DC and now head coach?
You know what? People ask me that, and he hasn't changed. Like, he was that same guy, the defensive coordinator. He lets guys be themselves, but he also demands a certain standard of excellence from each guy. And it was like that from a defensive room, and now being able to see him take that to a whole team, it's been cool to see.
Is there any aspect of your game that you feel that you need to work on more at this point in your career?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's always room to improve on everything, and our coaches do a good job of being transparent about what we need to work on exactly. Every day there's something, and there's some things that I'm working on right now, and by the time season comes around, we'll hopefully have them rolled.
Made a couple plays in coverage on the league throughout the course of the first 10 days. Is there any tangible difference that you feel in him with the different opportunity that he has and the different opportunity that you have? Those that elevated opportunity to be here Lightning versus what it was in Green Bay.
Yeah. So Malik we would go against each other in practice, and he would throw some of these balls, and he puts so much spin on the ball, throws it so hard. There were some of them where I missed. And so we were all, honestly, every day after practice, like, dang, bro, like, you got me on that one. And it's the same thing now. We sit together right next to each other in team meeting. He's like, you got me yesterday, but we're going back and forth. And so it's that we're competing every day. And that's what I love about him. I want him to be the most confident, the best quarterback, because I believe he's that dude. And he obviously sees the same in me. And so being able to go back and forth, he has a good day. He might get something on me. I might get something on him. It's been cool.
How valuable is that to have, obviously, as an offensive player and you're a defensive player, kind of guys that are competing, but then to be able to come off the field and go in the film room and kind of have that relationship with each other?
It's huge. Being able to talk looks, we talk a lot about disguise, and I'm able to ask Malik, like, what did you see on this one? Was it a true disguise? Did we really sell what we're trying to sell, or did you see it how it unfolded? And so he's very transparent about that, and he'll tell us straight. He's like, yeah, that wasn't a good look, or you guys need to do this better. And so I think it's great being able to have that communication with one another.
What's the message to the young guys as we enter into the dog days of training camp? The newness of pads is kind of worn off. The newness of just being back is worn off. How do you keep those guys moving?
Yeah, I think consistency. That's the hardest thing to measure. Everybody can come out day one, be excited. First game, it doesn't matter what it is. Everyone's excited for the first time, but can you do it day in and day out? I think it's consistency. That's what I would stress to the young guys, and that goes off the field too. How are you taking care of your body? What are you doing to stay healthy? It's hot out here, and so I think that's most important for guys to stay with a certain standard and just keep doing it.
I just want to ask you what you just said, the heat and humidity here. How does that compare to the Green Bay training camp?
It's completely different. I think if you were to practice here, our practice, and if you were to go do it, I think you could probably do it twice. I think you could practice twice somewhere else versus here. It's like you do 4 reps. 4 reps here is different than 4 reps somewhere else. I've noticed that. I was asking him on the way over here, I'm like, do you get used to that, like, over time? Because every day it's like I'm rolling, and I don't know if you get used to it, but it's good. It's our edge. I think that's what coaches stress to us. Build our edge. Teams are going to have to come down here and play in it, and we'll be used to it, so.
Seems like every day Lewis Moore makes a play. What jumps out to you about him?
He's a football player. You can just see, like, his aggression. He can cover. He's physical. I think he's going to be a dog on special teams. I think he could play a huge role on defense from an early start. I think just watching him, I haven't even talked to him that much, honestly, but watch.
All right, guys. You talked about helping the rookies out, guiding them, and that he's learning Coach Hafley's defense year 3 because every year he adds a twist to it. He also talked about Kyle Lewis, and he says he's a very aggressive linebacker. Just from watching him, he says that the heat down here is different from the heat in Green Bay. That's basically what we got from safety Shane Anderson. Now I'm going to read to you some action from day 8 of training camp. The Miami Dolphins had Wednesday off before returning to the practice field at Baptist Health Training Complex for another 3-day stretch and training camp sessions, then a week of work. On Friday, Miami practice was a high-volume session, as head coach Jeff Hafley described while speaking to the media before hitting the field. Let's take a look at what happened on day 8 Dolphins training camp from the reports of those on the scene. According to the Miami Herald's Omar Kelly, right tackle Austin Jackson returned to practice after missing time with an injury. He participated in individual drills and did a single one-on-one rep before working 11-on-11s. Safety Dante Trader Jr. and Lonnie Johnson Jr. were both non-participants. Tight end Greg Dolchich continued to practice catching the ball as he deals with a finger injury. First-round pick Caden Proctor won every single one-on-one rep he took for Kelly. Cornerbacks Chris Johnson, Juju Brents, who are expected to be the starters at the position, both recorded pass breakups and one-on-one for Travis Winfield. According to Davis Veronis, Jonas Vaianaya sprung Devon A. for a nice gain on the first play of 11-on-11s. Zach Zealer beat Patrick Paul for a sack. Malik Willis connected with Caleb Douglas for a gain after the rookie beat Jason Marshall Jr. in coverage. The two connected on multiple deep passes and team drills. Quarterback Cam Miller beat out a Kyle Lewis sack to wide receiver Theo Weiss Jr. for a nice game. Paul committed a false start. Zealer blew up Devon A. As Devon A. run in the backfield, running back Jalen Wright, who has had a decent camp, gave up a sack to defensive back Major Burns. Lewis Moore recorded a pass breakup on a throw from Quinn Ewers to Tutu Atwell shortly after Miles Battle intercepts Ewers on a pass off of his receiver's hands. Linebacker Jackson Wooder delivered a big hit on Donovan Edwards. Jacob Rodriguez did the same against Wright. Cole Turner continued to flash a bit without Sims and Dolchich out there catching passes in team drills, and he yelled a 15-yard toss from Willis. Linebacker Josh Uche beat Paul for a sack. Tolbert dropped a pass from Willis as rookie defensive back Michael Taft was closing in. Battle intercepted Ewers again on a deep pass that he took away from Atwell. Linebacker David Ojobo got Ewers for a sack. Rogowski threw a pick six to Woodard. Burns got him for an interception as well. Willis hit rookie tight end Will Kamarick, who was all alone for a touchdown on a 4th and 2 play on the 12-yard line. Linebacker safety Ronnie Harrison Jr. batted down the pass from Ewers behind the line of scrimmage. Ewers responds by ripping a 5-yard touchdown to wide receiver A.J. Henning. Defensive lineman Zeke Vickers took down Willis for a sack in a last-minute session. Defensive end Ceylon Farrell and defensive lineman Matthew Butler combined for a late drive sack as well. Rodriguez broke up a pass on the final play of the session as he rocked Wright, who was trying to haul it in. All right, guys, the answer to the trivia question, which kicker holds the single game record for the Miami Dolphins? And that's Jason Sanders with 7 made field goals in 2019 against the New York Jets. You didn't know the answer? Now you know the answer. If you knew the answer, you could have put it down in the comment section. I appreciate each and every one of you. And like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins.
Yeah. Turn the speakers up. You're locked in with the best. Rolling with Carlos.